Welcome back. This is Annette, and we're going to be continuing our journey through learning how to incorporate technology in the classroom. So, last week we've worked on how to save the URLs and images and interactive websites. This week we're going to create our own information instead of just looking for what's already readily available on the internet. And we're going to do so using a program called Kizoa.com. Kizoa is a slideshow program. It is also a free web-based program that we can use to create videos or slideshows or collages that can help to reinforce or teach. Welcome back. This is Annette, and we're going to be continuing our journey through learning how to incorporate technology in the classroom. So, last week we've worked on how to save the URLs and images and interactive websites. This week we're going to create our own information instead of just looking for what's already readily available on the internet. And we're going to do so using a program called Kizoa.com. Kizoa is a slideshow program. It is also a free web-based program that we can use to create videos or slideshows or collages that can help to reinforce or teach what we're teaching our students in the classroom. So first we're going to walk through the steps of how to sign up for Kizoa so we can get started. So as you can see, we're now looking at the Kizoa webpage, and our first step is to click on the Get Started button. As mentioned, this is a free website. So the first thing we need to do is to type in our email address and a password. Go ahead and click on that you accept the terms, and then click on the icon that says Get Started. Once you've signed into Kizoa, your first step is to select photos that are already available on your computer. Now to do that, you have to have the photos saved. So last week you started to develop some kind of a lesson plan or a lesson theme or idea of something that you could use in the classroom. And you should already have some photos that have been saved in your documents or in your picture file. So I am going to actually kind of change my photos a little bit because my theme is going to be about the history of the United States. So I've already selected those photos from the internet and I've saved them in my picture file. So my next step is to select these photos on the computer. And so I will go through and select all of the photos that I want to use in my slideshow. They don't have to be in order yet. We're just going through and selecting all of the photos that we would like to use. And then these photos will be opened, and then we upload them into Kizoa. So we wait for the photos to upload. Okay, once our images have been uploaded, then we are ready to click into our slideshow maker. Once our slideshow maker has been selected, our next option is to choose either templates or from scratch. Since we are beginners at this program, we will be choosing templates. The next screen that will appear on your Kizoa will be all the different options that you have, all the different templates that are available, and there are many of them. So you should go through and select a template that would be appropriate for what you will be teaching. I'm going to choose Zoom. Since my topic is a history lesson, I want something that's going to be a little more basic. So once I select that, I just click on the actual picture that I want to use for a template, and then I click down here at the bottom on the arrow that says Next. Our next step is to select the photos in the order in which we want them to appear. You will be preparing a video program that has at least 10 pictures in it. The one that I'm working with will have 14. So the pictures that I want in the order that they should appear will be how I will select them. So I just click on the icon and it drops it down, again in the order that I want it to appear. And of course, my pictures are going to be telling a story about the beginning of America and how slavery was introduced into America. And then once your photos are selected and they're put in order, and you can change these later on if you need to, click the button Next. Now our slideshow is actually ready at this point, but I would like to be able to add some music and maybe some transitions and personalize this a little bit. I need a little bit more to my slideshow before it's finished. And so over at the side, it gives us the options of what we can do next. So now we're going to select Personalize. Down at the bottom, you will see different selections, and these are the pictures in the order that I placed them earlier. So if I wanted to add an image, or transitions, or effects, or text, or animations, and music, I would go to the top tabs way here at the top of the paper. Again, one of the nice features about Kizoa is that there's always little self-helps to come along the way. So if I click on transition, but I'm not quite sure what to do, as I put my cursor over the picture, I get a little clue. Drag the transition into one of the small rectangles on the film between the photos. This is the rectangle that is between the film, so I'm going to choose this transition, a crossfade. I'm going to choose the next transition and place it inside of the box of the next one. And I will choose the circle for the next one. Of course, how you choose to put in your transitions, that will be completely up to you, and you are not required to put transitions in. So I'm going through each picture and adding different transitions to my slideshow. And one of the nice things too, as you go through here and you select different transitions, you'll learn more about how they'll look. You may end up saying, "Oh, I don't really like that," and you can always go back and very easily change it just by grabbing the new icon. And let's say on picture 3, I decide I no longer want this transition, so I can choose the new transition, place it directly over the first transition, and it saves it. It's as easy as that. So once I finish with the transitions that I want, I can always look into different kinds of effects that could appear on that page. Now your effects, because we're using the free program, we may not have a lot of them that are available. Usually when it comes to some of the extras in this program, you have to be able to purchase the program and to become accessible to some of these features. But let's just try some. So we're going to try and see what these images would look like then on the ones that are available. So looking at the icons as we scroll through these, there are again many of them that are available, and they have them separated by ways that you can identify them. Over at the side, we have the most popular, light, things that will affect the lighting, things that have to do with love, moods, motion, stars, weather, party, or summer. And so we're going to go back to the most popular, and I'm going to choose the sunlight. Now, if I wanted that sun to be able to appear, we have a little sample over at the side here of what that would look like on the image, so you have an idea. If I wanted to look at the heart tree, then it would give me an idea how that icon will affect the template the picture that I will have on display. So I really like this sun image, and I want to be able to use that on my first slide, where on the slide here that has the boat. So what I will do, and again I have the little pointers that are showing up, what I will do to get this image is that I will drag the effect onto the photo. So I'm going to click onto the image, bring it down to the photo, put it directly over the photo, and let go of my cursor. Now it's going to show me a picture of what that will look like. And if I like it, then I can click validate. And if I don't like it, I can click the X. It is also possible to use this transition on every on every picture in my slideshow by clicking on apply to entire slideshow. But since I only want this one on my first picture, I will click validate. If I need to modify it, I can, or I can keep it as is. So for the sake of just keeping it simple, we're not going to modify. And we're going to click the X because we are finished. Now again, I'm going to go through, and you can see that I put that icon right here by those little images that show on the pictures. So if there's anything else that I wanted to do, if I wanted to put some special effects on some of to give a more dramatic flair to what I'm doing. Okay, this one would be lightning. So I'm going to keep that image there. So I'm going to validate. Then I will click the X and go through and look at some more pictures. And on this one here, since I'm talking about money, and I want to make an emphasis of money, I'm going to add that icon. And then I'm going to validate it. Again, this is all about creativity and what you want to do with whatever your images are, and putting your slideshow together. So again, if I wanted to add one more image of rain, just to show how difficult, perhaps, on one of my pictures, I'm showing the boat ride that the African Americans had to take to get to America. So if I wanted to add effect to that, I could add the effect of rain. And this is what my picture would look like. And so it actually gives you a really nice three-dimensional look, which again adds more emphasis to my presentation. If I wanted to add text to my slideshow, I would choose the type of text that I would want to use with these options here. And of course, because it's history, I may want this to be a little more simple. So maybe to introduce my topic, I just want to say the beginning. In the beginning. My caps lock is on. Just to kind of give emphasis. And if there's anything else that I would like to bring emphasis to, I can click on, okay. I click on the image, and then I click on the wording. I drag the wording down to the picture, and I add the text. You can go through and continue to add text to your video on as many images or as few images as what you need to. And then when you're finished, you can go on to our next option. So far, we have discussed how to make transitions and how to create effects, and then how to add text. So next, we're going to look at different types of animations. So the animations for my slideshow would not be appropriate, but depending, because I'm going with this really mellow and very deep kind of a theme, and so you may be producing something different though, maybe a little more upbeat, and you can go through and look at the categories listed over at the left-hand side. You can have different kinds of icons, and I'll give you an example of what they look like. So here I have my image that I'm working with on the American Eagle, and let's say I wanted to use the Tree of Love. Over to the side, the tree of love is a tree where the little hearts are falling down. The heart balloons are balloons that are kind of moving. So you've got a three-dimensional effect. Maybe I want the term here with the I love you that will bleep on the screen. But there are different kinds of pictures and categories that are listed over at the side that you could add to your video to give it emphasis and creativity. So you can move the cursor down and carefully look through any kind of image that you would like to be able to add. And if you see something that's of interest, you can add them to your pictures just by dragging and dropping. So in this case, when I drag and drop the image, again, see the icon of the Olympics here in the middle of my screen. If that is not something that I would want to put into the animation, I would click the X. And if I want to keep it, I would click on the validate. Since I do not want the Olympic rings on my photo, I'm going to click the X. Then I will go on and continue to add images, animations throughout the rest of the slideshow. Now the last step is to add music. So again, you click on the music icon. And just like we've done before, this is just a drag and a drop. You click on the music. Of course, you have to choose in the library which music has already been uploaded. But as you go through and you hear something that you like the beat, click out of it and then you can listen to new music. So for my video, I like this kind of a sound. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it for the whole video. So I'm going to add this music to my video just by dragging and dropping. And now this music will be on my video. So if I want to have an idea what this is going to look like, I can click Play Slideshow on the far right-hand side of the screen. At any time I can do this after adding images, pictures, music. At any point I can play the slideshow. Here's my transition of the sun. Here are my pictures and the terms coming through. The transition. If I watch the entire slideshow and I think, hey, I really like this, I'm ready to submit it. The next step would be to upload it into YouTube. And then from there, you can take that YouTube site, just like you've done on other presentations that you've worked with, and you can download it into your program as you have already been directed by your previous instructors. So this concludes our program on different ways that we can access technology, and just giving you one example of one program. There are other programs out there similar to Kizoa. One thing that I like about the Kizoa program is that I feel that it's very user-friendly. Just by walking through it quickly again, you can see that first we upload our photos, which was a very easy transitional program to use by accessing the photos that are already in our program.